That night, Lynn went to bed with a full heart. No call from Rex came, but it didn't matter. His dreams filled in the rest. The next day passed slowly. After school, Mindy grabbed Lynn by the arm and walked him straight to Miss Benson's office. "You ready for tomorrow?" Miss Benson asked. "I think so," Lynn said. "Good. After third period, come here. Mindy can help you get into the outfit you two picked out. I'll walk you to the Cancer Society luncheon myself. It's just a short speech, a few handshakes, then we'll be back before the end of school." "Got it. Thank you." That night, Lynn's nerves kept him awake. He drifted in and out of sleep, unsure of what tomorrow would feel like. Would anyone notice? Would he trip or freeze or somehow give it all away? But morning came, and with it, a rush of excitement. Third period ended faster than expected, and Lynn met Mindy outside the office. "I brought the outfit," she said with a grin. "Let's make you shine." Inside the private staff restroom, Lynn changed into the outfit, a soft, professional skirt and top, conservative but flattering. Mindy helped him style his hair and apply makeup. When Lynn stepped out, Miss Benson looked up and blinked. "Wow, that's really impressive," she said, her tone warm but professional. "Are you feeling okay?" "A little nervous." "Don't be. You look confident. Just remember, this is temporary. But while you're doing it, do it with pride." Mindy gave him a quiet thumbs up. Lynn smiled and stood a little taller. They walked together through the school and out to the event. The luncheon was held at a local civic center. Community leaders, teachers, and guests of honor greeted the students warmly. When it was time, Lynn stepped up to the podium and delivered a short, heartfelt message about giving back to others on behalf of the homecoming court. He was poised, clear, and gracious. Afterward, several attendees complimented him. "Such a well-spoken young lady," one woman said. "You'll go far." "Thank you," Lynn replied, shaking her hand. Back at school, Lynn changed back into his usual clothes and took a deep breath. He had done it. No panic. No embarrassment. Just a strange sense of accomplishment. "You crushed it," Mindy whispered. "I'm proud of you." "Thanks," Lynn said softly. "That means a lot." "Girls, don't forget," Miss Benson reminded them. "Lynn's spa appointment is at 9 a.m. sharp on Saturday. You'll meet the other homecoming committee members there." "Lynn, you were absolutely poised today. I'm really proud of how you carried yourself. The ladies at the luncheon adored you. I think you made more than a few of them wish they had daughters just like you." "I'll see you at the parade on Saturday." "Thank you, Miss Benson," Lynn smiled. "I had such a great time today. Everyone was so kind. I'd honestly do it all again if I could." They responded to the confidence you showed. "Lynn, you really came alive in that role," Miss Benson said warmly. "Part of me wishes you didn't have to switch back. You shine when you're comfortable." "I don't really understand why, but it does feel easier to be confident this way," Lynn admitted. "Still, I know it's only temporary. Next week, I'll go back to being myself again." Lynn changed and slipped out just as the school day ended. He met with Mindy, and they agreed to meet at 7 a.m. sharp on Saturday to get ready. That evening, over takeout dinner, Lynn brought it up to his mom. "Mom, just so you know, I'll be out all day Saturday with the homecoming committee. Mindy and I have to be there early, like 7 a.m., and we won't be done until after the dance." "That's fine," she said. "I'll be at a wedding shower with some coworkers. I probably won't be home until late either, maybe midnight. But I expect you to check in. Call me when you get home, okay?" "Of course. The dance ends around 10:30, so I should be home by 11. Just be careful, all right?" "I will. Love you, Mom." Thursday and Friday passed in a blur of nervous excitement. Lynn felt a flutter in his chest he couldn't explain, part fear, part curiosity, part something deeper. That night, he dreamed again. This time, it was a fairy tale. Lynn, or perhaps Princess Lynn, wore a flowing gown that sparkled under the moonlight. She stood atop a carriage drawn by silver horses, moving slowly through a cheering crowd in a beautiful kingdom. When the carriage stopped, A royal attendant opened the door, and she stepped down. Waiting for her was a young prince, kind, familiar, smiling. It was Rex. He bowed and offered his hand. "Welcome home, princess." Lynn took his hand and felt a quiet warmth settle in her chest. "Is this really who I am?" she asked. "You're exactly who you're meant to be," he replied gently. "You don't have to choose right now. You just have to be." In the dream, they danced slowly under lanterns and starlight. No rush, no pressure. Just music, trust, and peace. When Lynn awoke, there were no tears. Only a soft smile, the kind you carry with you into the day ahead. Lynn's alarm buzzed sharply at 6 a.m., snapping him out of a dream that faded like mist. A kingdom, a prince, a carriage, and then the loud beep. He sighed, rubbed his eyes, and rolled out of bed. "All right," he muttered, "time to catch the early bus." He pulled on jeans and a t-shirt and dashed out the door. To his surprise, the bus was actually early for once. Moments later, he was at Mindy's doorstep. She opened the door with a wide grin. "Hurry up. Shower time," she said. "And don't forget to take care of everything. Smooth is the goal today." Lynn nodded, still half asleep, and disappeared into the bathroom. When he came out, Mindy had already laid out clothes and essentials. "Here, this outfit's comfy but cute. Just enough makeup for now. The salon will redo it anyway." She tossed him a light blouse and fitted shorts. Then, she helped him adjust his posture, hair, and overall look. Hair up, a little higher this time. Ponytails can say a lot. Think confident. Think elegant. After some light styling and touch-up, Lynn looked in the mirror and blinked at the girl looking back at him. Still him, but softer, more composed. He felt a strange surge of confidence. "Ready?" Mindy asked, already grabbing her purse. "Yeah, I think so." They arrived at Styles Spa by 8:45 a.m. Lynn was the second one there. A woman greeted them with a warm, professional smile. "Welcome to Styles," she said. "I'm Brenda, the owner. We're so excited to help you get ready for your big day." She led them to a dressing room where they changed into spa smocks. Lynn checked himself in the mirror, nervous but composed. Soon, an elegant woman in her late 20s waved him over. "Hi, I'm Sandra. I'll be your stylist today." "You must be Lynn. Congratulations on being chosen." "Thanks," Lynn replied shyly. Sandra gently undid Lynn's ponytail and ran her fingers through his hair. "Nice texture," she said. "But no more rubber bands, okay? They damage the strands. A scrunchie is your new best friend." "Noted," Lynn said, smiling. "Any special ideas for today?" "I want something pretty, but still easy enough that I can tie it back later." "Perfect. I know just the thing." Lynn's hair was washed and conditioned, then wrapped in a soft towel. While Sandra worked, Mindy had quietly stepped out, leaving Lynn alone to trust the process. "Your friend said she's heading home to get everything ready for tonight," Sandra said, trimming a few inches from Lynn's hair. "Don't worry, it'll still be long enough for a ponytail, but with way more body." Lynn watched as the stylist carefully added rollers and applied a gentle solution for a soft perm. "This will make styling much easier," Sandra explained. "Just a bit of bounce, not full curls. You'll love the texture." Lynn nodded, unsure but trusting. While the treatment sat under the warm dryer, another salon tech came by to give him a manicure. "It's your big day, princess," she said playfully. "Let's make sure your hands match that smile." Lynn settled into the salon chair, the warmth of the dryer humming softly above him. As the stylist prepped his next step, a cheerful voice chimed in. "Hi, I'm Judy, and I'll be doing your nails while we wait for your hair to dry. What color is your dress tonight?" "It's red," Lynn replied with a smile. "Perfect. Let's pick a shade that'll really pop." Judy removed his shoes and glanced at his hands. "Wow, your nails are pretty short." "Sports." "Yeah, I play water polo. Can't have long nails." "Well, today's a special occasion. Let's give you a polished look. Don't worry, we'll keep it elegant and temporary." Judy worked her magic, chatting lightly as she shaped and painted his nails in a rich, deep red to match his dress. Lynn glanced at his hands when she was done. They looked refined, graceful, and expressive. He unconsciously flexed his fingers and smiled. "They're amazing," he said, beaming. Before he could reflect too much, Sandra returned to guide him over to the makeup station. There, another stylist greeted him warmly. "Hey, gorgeous, I'm Rachel. Let's take that pretty canvas and add a bit of magic." She smiled as she pulled out a tray of cosmetics in more shades than Lynn had ever seen in one place. "Did your friend do your eyebrows?" Rachel asked curiously. "Yeah, Mindy did. Not bad, just a few uneven bits. I'll tidy it up a little, okay?" Rachel carefully cleaned up his brows, making subtle adjustments. When Lynn saw his reflection mid-process, his breath caught. The shape was soft, symmetrical, and undeniably polished. "They're beautiful," he admitted softly. "You've got the bone structure for it," Rachel replied, blending tones expertly. "You'll be able to recreate this look with the sample kit I'll give you." As Rachel walked Lynn through each step, foundation, blush, subtle highlight, she turned the chair so he could watch her technique. The transformation wasn't just on the outside. Something inside him felt calmer, more composed, and quietly confident. "All done," Rachel said, stepping back. "Look at you." Lynn turned toward the mirror and paused. He barely recognized the reflection. It wasn't just the eyeliner or the lip gloss. It was the way he held himself, the clarity in his eyes. "Thank you," he whispered. "I didn't know I could look like this." "You're glowing," Rachel replied. "Now go finish that hair. You've got a big night ahead." Sandra welcomed him back and unwrapped his hair from the rollers. With practiced care, she added a finishing product and began to style. "This will soften the curls and give you more volume," she explained. She shaped, brushed, fluffed, and trimmed. Lynn sat quietly, the hum of the salon around him fading. As the look came together, he felt something subtle, like puzzle pieces aligning. His hair was layered and light, soft around the face and longer in the back. It framed him in a way that made him feel not just pretty, but powerful. Sandra pulled Lynn's hair back gently, forming a soft ponytail that still allowed the front strands to frame her face. "See?" she smiled. "Now your ponytail has style. That's the secret options. That's the beauty of great hair." Lynn nodded, her eyes catching the mirror again. She wasn't sure what she expected to see, but what looked back at her felt right. This wasn't just a makeover. It felt like a moment where a piece of herself had stepped forward, one that had always been waiting. "You look amazing," Sandra said. "Now go get changed and meet the others. Pictures don't take themselves." Lynn slipped back into her blouse and rejoined the group, blending in with the rest of the homecoming court. Though she was quiet at first, the girls quickly made her feel welcome. Before long, she was chatting and laughing, swept into their easy rhythm, gossiping about music, school, and weekend plans. It didn't feel like pretending. It felt natural. At the school entrance, Mindy was waiting. The moment she saw Lynn step out of the car, her jaw dropped. "Oh, my gosh," Mindy whispered. "What did they do to you?" Lynn looked unsure. "I just went along with what they suggested. I didn't know it'd go this far." Mindy pulled her aside, lowering her voice. "Your hair, your brows, your nails, they're all amazing, but how are we going to explain any of this to your mom? Or hide it?" Lynn gestured down at herself, a mix of awe and nervousness on her face. "I don't know, Mindy. I didn't plan this. It just happened." Mindy exhaled. "Okay, first things first, let's get you dressed. We'll figure the rest out later." Inside Miss Benson's office, Lynn changed behind a curtain. Mindy handed over a red dress, still fresh, in its garment bag. "Ready?" she asked. Lynn slipped into the outfit with care, guided by Mindy's steady hands. The dress fit perfectly, hugging just enough to feel special without being over the top. Mindy zipped it up and brushed Lynn's hair one last time. "Look in the mirror," she said. Lynn turned. Her breath caught. She had expected to see a costume, something temporary. But the reflection staring back was graceful, radiant, and familiar. It wasn't just how she looked. It was how she felt. "I look beautiful," Lynn whispered. "You are beautiful," Mindy replied. "But how do you feel?" Lynn was quiet for a long moment. "I feel like I belong. Like this version of me has always existed, and tonight I finally get to be her." Mindy's eyes shimmered. "I get it. I really do. But remember, this night is yours to keep. Even if you take off the dress later, it doesn't change what you felt. You'll always have this memory. And honestly, you'll always be Lynn, whether in sneakers or sandals." Lynn nodded. "Thank you, Mindy. I don't know where I'd be without you." "Probably still hiding in gym clothes and avoiding school dances," she teased. "Now come on. It's your night. And you're glowing." They left the office together, two friends, two stories woven tighter by a shared secret, walking into a world that, at least for tonight, made space for Lynn to shine. "And as I told you," Judith continued, "there's no need for anything improper. All we ask is that you accompany certain individuals to a quiet dinner or perhaps meet for drinks in a relaxed, private setting." Kelly started to protest, but Judith raised her hand gently to continue. "These individuals are often connected to sensitive negotiations or high-level decisions. Your role is simple. Spend time with them, allow them to feel at ease, and create the appearance of a trusted relationship. From there, we take over." Kelly stared at her. "You mean you want me to get close to strangers so you can use me to gather information on them?" Judith gave a small, measured smile. "We prefer the term strategic engagement. No one is harmed, and it's all conducted under oversight. We work with a discrete government agency focused on international cooperation. Sometimes influence requires a little creative diplomacy." She paused, then added with a dry chuckle, "It's ironic, really. You know firsthand how persuasive a single image can be." Kelly's heart sank slightly. The weight of the envelope from earlier still lingered in her thoughts. From time to time, Judith went on, "You might be asked to help encourage someone's cooperation. You'll be well compensated for your time, and naturally, we'll supply your wardrobe. Within reason, of course, we are publicly funded." Judith rose from the chair and extended her hand. "I'll be in touch very soon." Almost without thinking, Kelly reached out and shook it. Judith smiled, then turned and exited the flat, leaving the door to click shut behind her. Kelly turned to the mirror, staring at her reflection. Her thoughts swirled, trying to make sense of what had just happened. Part of her recoiled, but another part, however small, whispered about possibilities. Could this really be happening? Could she pull it off? She reached into her handbag, touched up her lipstick, and stared into the mirror a moment longer. Judith's words echoed in her mind. "It's been years since I saw anyone as captivating as you." A small, uncertain smile crept across her lips. She picked up her bag and headed for the door, maybe just one more walk down the street, before slipping back into the role of ordinary Gary. Lynn didn't hear the key turning in the lock or the soft thud of the door closing behind Mrs. Collins. She didn't stir as the sound of quiet footsteps echoed across the hardwood floor. Mrs. Collins glanced at the couch and paused. There, resting peacefully against the cushions, was a young woman she didn't recognize. For a moment, she blinked, surprised. "Has my son brought someone home?" She took in the scene with quiet curiosity. The young woman's appearance was elegant, her makeup carefully done, her dress tastefully styled, her posture graceful even in sleep. She looked serene, composed. "She's lovely," Mrs. Collins thought. "I wonder who she is." She stepped closer and gently placed a hand on the girl's shoulder. Lynn stirred. Her eyes fluttered open, adjusting to the light and the unfamiliar voice above her. As her vision cleared, recognition struck, and her breath caught. "Mom," she whispered. Then again, voice cracking, "Mommy." Mrs. Collins reeled slightly. Lynn? Is that you? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Oh my goodness. What's going on? Lynn rose slowly, carefully, standing with quiet dignity. Her eyes filled with tears. Mommy, please, can you just hold me? Mrs. Collins didn't hesitate. She stepped forward and wrapped her daughter in a warm embrace, holding her tightly as Lynn began to cry softly into her shoulder. Shh, it's okay, sweetheart, she whispered, her voice full of love. You're safe. I've got you. I love you, just as you are.